This is JessicaWilliamson, and you're watching Zaproot. Ghost nets. It sounds like some rogue branch of the CIA that started killing heads of state. In an attempt at world domination, the only thing that can stop them is the host of a green news show. No? Anybody? Well, in reality, ghost nets can be much deadlier. A ghost net is an industrial-sized fishing net. That means really big. They get lost at sea and float around the ocean, ensnaring and killing things. The Ocean Defenders Alliance recently put one of these things out of commission. A trawler sank off the coast of Los Angeles in 2006. When it hit the bottom, its nets came loose and got tangled around the wreck. And the 40-foot-high, 9,000-pound net has been waving back and forth under the sea for the last 2 years. Kurt Lieber, founder of the Oceans Alliance, said, "It's one of the spookiest things I've ever seen. It's a huge vessel encased in a net, and anything that swims in it gets trapped. The wreckage is in about 150 feet of water, so the divers have to use a tank filled with a special nitrous oxide mixture so they can spend more time at the bottom." Diver Cindy McGugan said, "At one point I was frantically cutting off pieces of netting when a net was tugged upward by an airbag. I looked around and discovered I was in a kill zone. There were tons of bones and a bunch of sea lion skulls and a shark caught in the fabric." Worldwide, ghost nets kill millions of animals a year, but no one has solid numbers because the problem is so immense. Though the High Sea Ghost Nets project is attempting to attach beacons to larger nets and track them by satellite for later removal. So head out to highseaghost.net and check out their interactive map for all the ghost net tracking fun. And now a story for all you map nerds. Check out Google Earth 5.0. They've integrated oceans into the new version, including portions of the seabed and video clips of ocean animals and sea exploration. And here's one way to get a lot of press about your scientific exploration. Tell the press you did it because of Google Earth. What do you do when the globe is warming, sea levels are rising, and you live on an island? You get a new one, of course. Recently, Mohammed Nasheed of the Maldives told The Guardian that his country is starting to save money to buy a new homeland if he happens to lose his to global warming. The Maldives holds the record for being the lowest country in the world, with a maximum natural ground level of only 7.5 feet. Possible places of refuge for the Maldives are India, Sri Lanka, and Australia. We should just give them Florida. Lord knows we're not doing anything with it. If you've got kids or you're just a nature documentary nerd, Disney Nature's movie Earth will be in theaters on April 22nd. It's narrated by James Earl Jones, which sounds like Darth Vader if you focus really hard. But the whole thing is just a reworking of the footage from the landmark series Planet Earth, done by the BBC, which is narrated by the coolest guy on the planet, David Attenborough. CO2's a real bitch. Is there any party she can't ruin? In the ocean, she's turning vast stretches of living reef into a wasteland. The reason is ocean acidification. The ocean removes 1/3 of the CO2 entering the atmosphere. The more we make, the more acidic the oceans get. So what does that mean to you? Other than less things to do in Bermuda, coral is at the base of the food chain. No coral means no fish, which means no sushi, which means celebrities around the world will starve. And nobody wants that. Or do we? CO2 removes carbonate, which is what coral uses to build its structure. And this problem is also affecting shellfish. A recent study found that ocean acidification causes sea urchins to lose their ability to reproduce by 25%. In human terms, it's kind of like talking about your mother on the first date. Several organizations are putting together recommendations on how to deal with the problem. And we're hoping in Obama's administration, more stuff like this will get on the radar. But with the controversial Lisa Jackson heading the EPA, we're a little worried. Because if shellfish aren't reproducing, all they have left at Red Lobster is those little cheddar biscuits, and your diet is history. As our sources for clean water dwindle, Fiji isn't the only place that figured out that water is the new oil. Now US states are getting in on the action and making it illegal to collect rainwater. Today in Colorado, it is illegal to collect rainwater in a barrel, but it's still perfectly legal to wear one. The same story applies to Washington for large cisterns, unless you live in Seattle where they have an exception. It is also illegal in Utah, but you can purchase the right. Although there is some support in the legislature to allow residents to collect up to 2,500 gallons. And to add insult to injury, water is even being used as a weapon against those protesting its commercialization. Recently at the World Water Forum in Turkey, police turned water cannons without a hint of irony against peaceful protesters, seeking to affirm the human need for water. However, as our friends at the Daily Green tell us, NASA is reporting that all the polluting we're doing might actually make it rain more, particularly in the middle of the week when pollution is heaviest, since all those particles weigh heavily on clouds. So on the plus side, although you might be dying from thirst and your water might have a little something extra in it, at least it'll be sunny on the weekend. What you're looking at isn't a wingless plane, a replica of the Jetsons car, or a mechanical dolphin. It's called the Aptera, and it might just be your future car. The Aptera was designed around a simple idea: efficiency. The average car uses about half its energy just to push itself through the air. The Aptera gets around this little problem by simply getting out of the air's way. It uses biomimicry to funnel the air around the car and send it on its merry way. It's gone through a few design stages, from this to this, and this. The final production model will be all electric, have a top speed of 85 miles per hour, go 0 to 60 in 10 seconds, and are you ready for this? It gets an equivalent of 250 to 300 miles per gallon. Those speed numbers won't get the Aptera to sports car status anytime soon, but with that fuel efficiency, who cares? The Aptera recently won the Popular Mechanics Breakthrough Award and has taken deposits on 4,000 orders already, equaling $110 million in sales. It's rumored that the Aptera will be in the new Star Trek movie. They're a contender in the Automotive X Prize. Their investors include Google. Its price tag is only $28,000, and the first ones will hit the road in the coming year. See, remember what I said about it being your next car? This is Jessica Williamson, and you're watching Zaproot.